as a creative financial guy, I know you are also working on something that ties crypto into housing. Obviously, crypto's been a policy focal point.
We just created this real estate Bitcoin fund where you can buy, we're buying 300 unit complexes below replacement cost, taking advantage of the correction in institutional real estate that is happening right now, probably the biggest correction in real estate history that's not being spoken about. And we're combining real estate and Bitcoin into a fund where there's no debt, there's positive cash flow, and we get the volatility and the upside of Bitcoin with the stability of real estate long term. When you take real estate that's very stable and you combine it with Bitcoin that's unstable and does not cash flow, and you put the two together, you're getting the best of two worlds.
So how do you do it? From what I understand, you take a fixed flow from the real estate and invest it into what, BTC, into some type of crypto fund or what?
This blue line down here is the real estate. So it's very stable. And then at purchase, what we do, we buy, in this case, it's 72 million, and we stack $15 million worth of Bitcoin, and we're still under replacement costs. So the real estate just rides under this, and hopefully the Bitcoin explodes. It'll take something that's normally 12 or 15% to 35 and 40% if Bitcoin behaves anywhere close to what the Saylors and the Cathie Woods and the Fidelities of the world and the Tom Lees think it's going to do.
And to be clear, you're accumulating coins. You're not like, this is not an active fund, right? You're accumulating coins. And are there particular rules on which you can divest them or not?
No, well, I bought the real estate and the Bitcoin.
Okay.
And I backfill it with my audience. I crowdfund money.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
I don't take money from institutions or sovereign funds or rich people or Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan or Blackstone. I do this with regular people. I basically fund the activity. We've done 47 deals, about $5 billion worth of real estate like this. And this is our first Bitcoin real estate fund, but I funded it. And then I offer it to my public at the same entry that I paid. I backfill it so that I can duplicate this and do 10 of these. So we actually have 10, Oliver, planned between now and June. This will be our first one. We're almost filled right now. The response has been phenomenal.
It's all private right now.
Yeah, it's all private. And then what's interesting is people are investing with me that never invested in the Bitcoin, in the real estate, because it was too conservative. And I have people coming in that have never bought any Bitcoin because it's too risky. Mm-hmm. But when I showed them both of them together, they're like, okay, you remove the risk. I have the stability. I have the possibility. I have the depreciation, the cash flow, all the things Bitcoin won't do. This does, and all the things real estate can't do because it's heavy and illiquid, it does do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the thing with real estate. I think of heavy and liquid, but you have a nice income and you have a dividend generally. So in the example of like an equity and a dividend, which is which? Is the real estate the equity, or is the Bitcoin gains the dividend?
Yeah, no, the real estate produces the dividend, the cash flow.
Okay. And then you're buying Bitcoin?
What we'll do is we divert the cash flow rather than sending a check to the investor, which we do every month. We pick up more Bitcoin each month. So we start with 15 million of Bitcoin, but we'll end up with about 30 million in the fourth year.
Okay.
So we'll have $80 million worth of real estate stabilized and $30 million worth of Bitcoin that's doing its thing.
What will the in and outs and liquidity, is there, what's the ability to get in and out of the fund as if I invest in?
Yeah, there's no in and out. This is not a liquid stock, even though we're going to upreit this in the future. Our goal is to put 10 of these together and then take it to the market as an upreit, and then you'll have tremendous ability to get in and out. But the number of exits and possibilities we have by combining these two, one, I can put a mortgage on the real estate. Very easy to do. I could easily pull $60 million out of this thing tomorrow with a long-term mortgage. Two, we could create new products around it and have a hybrid real estate Bitcoin mortgage, which I believe Howard Lutnick with the Trump administration as Commerce Secretary will be very interested in doing once somebody builds the vehicles. Three, we could sell off the real estate in year 3, and we'd own, in this case, we'd own $141 million worth of Bitcoin for free.
And so how long is my money committed? If when I buy in, when does it open up again?
Yeah, it's a 10-year term. It can
Got it. Okay.
Before that, okay. Like if Bitcoin went to 13 million tomorrow, I might decide just to borrow against it, return everybody's capital, and we just sit with no investment, and we own a bunch of Bitcoin, or we own the real estate for free. So there's a lot of options here.
There's some experiment.
I'm in control of it, so it's your past.
Right, because it's an active thing. You're basically the active manager. You can do with it what you want. Okay, so it's sort of an experimental project, but the idea is to do this on a scale wide enough to then open up what would be a publicly traded product that's like a new form of a REIT.
That's right. We got 10 scaled out and planned, ready to go. So I have the right administration going in.
I see in the release could potentially return 100% of investors' initial capital as a non-taxable event. But given the experimentation of kind of the optionality of what you can do, how do you know what kind of guaranteed outcomes you could have right now?
I don't have any guarantee except Bitcoin can go to zero. I still have the real estate, so I can't lose my money unless both of them disappeared. The tax advantage is the $80 million purchase provides a $30 million tax depreciation. That could only go up because Trump's going to probably accelerate depreciation, so I have that benefit. The cash flow from the real estate, it's 85% occupied right now, and it cash flows $300,000 a month. So I'm not using any debt. I can't lose it. I don't have a bank putting a gun to my head. I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. Is it going to go to 250? Is it going to go to $1 million? Is it going to go to 13 million? What's it going to do?
Well, I guess the real estate, though, is probably not California real estate, I would guess, right? At least not coastline. Real estate.
Melbourne is right outside of where Elon launches rockets.
Okay,
so
yeah.
It's a great location.
All right, Grant, very interesting, creative stuff. Thanks for the thoughts. Appreciate it.